All right, so the end of the first day comes to a close. That night, you guys are tormented by dreams. The sound of inaudible whispers in your ears. You awaken and you see Jeeves standing in the doorway, and he says, "Good morning."
Jeeves.
Morning, Jeeves.
Surprised you didn't stay with me last night. Bed was awfully cold.
I was quite comfortable in my own bed, thank you very much.
D20. And hold on.
Good morning, Sir Galleon.
Good morning, Jeeves. How did you sleep?
I slept quite well, thank you very much.
Excellent. What do you have for us today?
Well, I've got breakfast ready downstairs, and a list of errands that you may consider attending to.
Jeeps.
Excellent.
I got a 19 on that roll, Sean. Just sense motive.
For sensing the motive for what? For waking you up?
No.
He
'Cause I was
definitely
like-
is waking you up for breakfast.
Yeah, what I meant was I was trying to say that he did he actually not want to be in my bed last night?
He definitely didn't want to be in your bed last night.
Okay.
You have a strong suspicion that he doesn't swing that way.
Oh, okay. Well, I know no longer to mess with this man.
Although your first encounter left him feeling very confused about himself.
All right. I would like to take the list from Jeeves and roll for perception.
Well, he doesn't have a physical list. He just has
okay.
a list of things. That so
like a mental checklist.
Correct. So what? Hold on. Give me a second.
All right.
So Jeeves comes over and he says, by the way, do you guys have controls of your character?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. So Jeeves comes over and he's like, there are several matters that needed to be tended to. The most pressing issue would be to arrange a meeting with the mayor. As the wardens of this town, it is imperative that you touch base with him and get on the same page about what is to be expected from you. The second matter to attend to is that of security. There's many valuable things that I've noticed in this castle, and considering the desperate state of the town, you never know. We're prime targets for robbery and thuggery, so you may consider looking into a permanent guard for the resident.
What kind of desperate in the village? Like, what's going on?
What isn't going on? Shortages of crops being spoiled, the iron shortage, goblin raids on the town. I mean, you name it. People are desperate.
I go over to him. I get like kind of close, not too close this time. But by the way, do you happen to have that list for the things I'll need in town in order to make a room out of the blacksmith?
As I said before, I have nor the supplies nor the skills to make such a thing happen. You would have to arrange those arrange that service with somebody more knowledgeable.
Gotcha. As he's saying that, I'm gonna let you guys finish talking to him, but I'm gonna go ahead and look at these chests.
All right. Well, appreciate it, Jeeves. In your opinion, when this castle was a little better equipped to handle its residents, you know, to do that, what sort of resources would you possibly need? I mean, lumber, stone. Do you have any contacts of any kind within the town? What kind of relationships did the old owner have with the town? Is there anybody that would you go talk to?
I am a new resident to this castle. I arrived only a week before you did. I was hired by Mortimer in the process of transitioning the estate to you. So I'm slightly familiar with this area, but not any more than somebody who would be a local here with local knowledge of the town.
I appreciate it, Jeeves. I'm gonna go to the library while you guys are finishing up this conversation, and I'm going to see if there are any books about the history of this island, or this town.
Ask you something, Jeeves, by the way.
Yes.
You are, what is your exact purpose for being here?
I'm a butler. I do butler things.
I want to, like nonchalantly look in the corner side of the room and be like, are you harvesting spiders?
Harvesting spiders.
There's a goblin inside of the room.
They are a delicacy, as food shortages are short.
I
I will get on that right away.
I say, I'm not meaning to be rude. I'm just asking, like, what all do we need to do ourselves, and what all would you like to take over? That's all I'm asking you. I'm not trying to be
Yeah, what
rude.
the fuck is that? There's webs everywhere. Did you get paid? Or wait, do we have to pay you?
He's already been paid. If you pay attention,
My salary has been paid.
You're in the library. You're not even here. Go away.
I'm sorry. I'm just commenting.
Look, all I'm gonna say, Jeeves, is
This
just
castle
like to know if
is
there's anything
quite
you don't like.
large. I've been working around the clock since I arrived. I will make sure that your spider web is gone, since it offends your delicate sensibilities.
Okay.
Please wash the goblin blood off your face, as it offends mine.
Oh, intimidation at this point.
Oh god.
So, and I say to him, look, here, but I also don't like to be spoken rude to. I'm simply asking what you need help with doing, so that way it can get taken care of.
If I'm not mistaken, I gave you 2 things that I cannot attend to myself. So if you were not listening, that is your prerogative. I'll be downstairs preparing breakfast. Thank you. I will take my leave. And he bows away.
As Jeeps goes, I come behind him and whisper him, Jeeps, do you have any weird dreams or nightmares every time you go to sleep, or anything unusual?
Yes, I do. I have experienced some strangeness since staying in this castle, but I chalk it up to adjusting to a new environment. I have not given it much serious thought.
Did you get it once you stayed the first day, or like after a few days you've been here.
Yes, like I said, I chalk it up to nerves of adjusting to a new environment. Although that is just my personal opinion.
Okay, thanks for the answer.
If there's anything else I can help you with, do
No.
come to get me.
I'll keep that in mind.
And he leaves.
Excellent.
Is there anything in the chest?
Sir Galleon, you were saying that
Yes.
you were looking at the books?
Yes. I'm so let's see. Perception is wisdom class train 3. So okay, so I'm gonna roll a perception check to see what I find. Oh, that's terrible. All right, looking through the books.
As you stand in front of the bookshelf, you are immediately distracted by a book of called 50 Shades of Grey Lord, and
Oh God.
and you thumb through the first few pages, and as your cheeks start to blush, you put the book back, and you forgot why you even went over there in the first place.
Son of a bitch. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna meet up with you guys in the mess hall when you're all done here. Then.
I'm
Fuck.
going to go ahead and look around
Son of a bitch.
look over here on this table and so we have.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Perception.
All right. On that table, you find a seemingly normal-looking steel ring, but it has a purple glow to it. So, if you want to, you can roll whatever it's called. Is it Knowledge Arcana or is it use magical device? I can't remember.
Knowledge Arcana to receive the name of the item. Spellcraft in order to understand what it does.
Well, that is up to you. Roll whichever one you prefer. Knowledge Arcana first, I guess.
24.
You find a ring of protection.
Okay, and then spellcraft.
Nice.
And it does +1 to your AC.
Oof.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the ring since I already own one, and I'm going to go find Ahmed. And me. Alright, hi Ahmed. And I give the ring to him.
What does the ring do?
On.
Alright. I put the ring wrong.
I take one of my arrows and I try to stab him in the chest.
Okay, roll roll your attack.
Give me 1 second.
Really? Yeah, I don't know about that.
As you randomly lunge at your friend and try to stab him in the chest, it
What the fuck?
the magical powers of the ring deflect your noodly arm blow, and and Renberg goes, "Wow, what a cool ring! I feel so protected."
I look at Faye. I'm like, really? You just told me rather than try to stab me.
Best kind of presentations are the one that's our hands on. And as I say that, I am now moving down the staircase, and I'm going to go
I yell,
Blacksmith.
I yell at them as she walks away. But as she walks away, really? But stabbing? I follow her.
I pick up, or I go ahead and, what do I see down here, Sean?
Roll perception.
Do 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 do. Gonna use my perception. Ahmed, help me find a hammer.
Looking around, it just looks like a normal workshop. There's some tools for smithing, hammers and tongs and things of that nature. There is a steel chest in there, and it is locked.
Okay. I do want to go ahead and pick up the largest hammer I can find here.
Roll a strength check.
Oh wow.
So you pick up the largest hammer you can find, and it's definitely not comfortable for you to wield, but you can use it for something.
At this point, I go ahead and I try to shatter the lock on this chest.
Okay. Well, there's not like a lock on the outside of the chest. The lock is part of the chest. So if you end up breaking the lock, the chest is permanently open.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and not do that then, and I'm gonna go upstairs to the ones who do have locks on the outside.
All right.
And begin bashing away at these locks.
Roll for damage. Or not roll for damage, but roll for to see if you do anything in the first place.
Take 20 on this, like keep rolling until I eventually break it.
All right. Several hours goes by, and everybody from downstairs can just hear bang, bang, bang going on upstairs. Because of the
Go eat, Ahmed. I'll be fine.
Because of the Rinver stands in the door, just fascinated, like, what the hell is this person doing?
Yeah, I'm like
Downstairs, you can hear Jeeves go, ugh. But eventually you do get the first lock open, and you open it up, and inside there are 3 minor healing potions.
Okay, I take them.
By the way, Ahmed, did you add that ring to your inventory?
I have I just call it ring. What's it called? Ring of what?
Ring of protection, but it does +1 to your AC. So
now begin working on the next one. Go ahead and roll an initial roll, and then I would like to take 20.
I mean,
as you swing at the lock,
can I unlock it? Picklock it? Or try to picklock it?
You're welcome to. But hold on, let me finish this first. So Whisperwind, you, with all the heft you can, swing at this lock, and it just bounces right back and hits you in the face. Go ahead and roll a d4 for damage. It clocks you right in the eye, leaving a good-sized black eye. And you just go, ah! And you look over at Rinver, and you're like, well, don't just stand there. Unlock this thing. Isn't that what rogues do?
I pop open one of the healing potions and attempt to get rid of this horrible, disgusting black eye.
Really?
If you guys aren't going to work around here, I'm going to... And there you go. 3 damage. I'm automatically healed. You know what? I'll take care of my own business since you guys aren't going to be helpful.
Like I said, what do I need to roll for the picklock?
Disable device.
By the way, I then cast mending on this lock. Working on. So
the lock repairs itself, and it is now a lockable chest.
okay.
I
Can you
unlock.
please pick the other 2 locks so I don't have to stay here? I'm gonna go get some food. And so I go downstairs and I approach Jeeves and say, "Is there anything left?"
Wow, someone's so pissy.
I don't know. I've been eating for like 2 hours,
That's the first lock.
so there might not be a whole lot
hold
of
on,
food
hold
left.
on.
I'm just saying.
So as Whisperwind, in her PMS rage, leaves the room, Rinver walks over to the middle chest, which this middle chest is a lot fancier looking than the other chest. And he takes a look at the lock for a second, and he's like, "Wow, this is probably the easiest lock I've ever seen in my life." And he literally with all the finesse of somebody who has decades of finessing locks, he just flicks the lock and it opens.
What's in it? I open the chest.
So Rinver opens the chest, and inside is 500 gold pieces, another minor healing potion,
Holy shit.
and a dagger.
Ooh.
A +1 dagger.
Ooh. I go to the next one and unlock the other one.
Again, but
Roll your okay.
Oh, that's...
So you start fiddling with the lock, and for some reason this one gives you a little bit more trouble. You can tell that you were almost able to unlock it, but the lock is just really old, and it might be that the tumblers are rusted shut, but you're unable to get it open.
Can I get another try?
There is a big hammer laying on the ground that Whisperwind left. If you want to try to bust it open.
So there's no... Alright. I'll try. I'll take the hammer and do it again. I'll do what he does. So it's strength.
Plus your strength.
old-fashioned rogue lock picking. That's what I'm doing.
So you pick up this hammer and you swing it at the lock, and you don't even hit the chest. You just bust a huge hole in the floor right in front of the chest. And
oh my god, that's right here.
Yeah.
Like right above me.
And so as this happens, everybody in the kitchen just sees a fucking hammer come through the roof, and Rinver looks down through the hole, and you look up through the hole in the ceiling, and you're like, and he goes, sorry. And the one plate of food that was on the table that was not eaten, Whisperwind's food, there's just big splinters of wood, old, dirty, dusty wood that has fallen into your plate.
Oh my god.
You son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch. Who said who could open that with a hammer?
I cast Mage Hand and I take away all the splinters from my food and I begin to eat.
Okay. Jeeves looks over at you and he goes, "If you would like, I can make you something else, although it may take me some time."
We've already started off on the wrong foot. I don't mind eating cold food. It's okay.
As you wish, ma'am.
I say, and you are more than welcome to call me Faye rather than ma'am or miss or anything like that.
I know what I said.
So while I was eating, apparently you guys were just fucking around, putting holes in our fucking house. What's up with that shit?
I go downstairs. Yeah.
I'm afraid there's not much left, sir. Just scraps at this point, and he looks over at Sir Galleon, and he goes, "This man has an unquenchable appetite."
Yeah,
Well then.
As soon as I finish eating,
munchies will do that.
as soon as I finish eating, I say, "Okay, thank you," and I'm gonna go ahead and head back upstairs and attempt to start working on this lock and not. Also, actually, I cast mending on the floor. I use Mage Hand to pull up the splinters, and I cast Mage Hand on the floor.
All right. Right before your eyes, you see these splinters of wood reassemble and essentially not cover, but reseal the hole, the newly added skylight in the in the kitchen.
That's like the coolest fucking spell ever.
Fix everything. Yeah,
So
It's like a Harry Potter, dude.
weapons, but I can fix like anything small, like a lock, or I can fix floorboards or things that aren't like.
complicated.
So
Yeah.
you're taking 20, right? So anyway, another hour goes by, and eventually Whisperwind is able to get the chest open, and there's nothing inside of it.
Nope.
It's just an
And
empty chest.
I cast mend on the lock, and then I go back downstairs. And at this point, I go ahead and say to them, "Well, I'm ready to go whenever you guys are."
Yep. Same. Let's go. Where we're going? We should go to the Viz, right?
When I say ready to go, I suggest we all go ahead and start cleaning ourselves up. By the way, I say unless you want a peak show, I'm gonna go ahead and take the shower first, and I go bathe.
So, where are you guys heading?
I'm gonna bathe myself first, but then I think we're gonna go ahead and head towards the mayor, if that's okay, with everybody in the group.
Alrighties. So Jeeves looks over at Sir Galleon, and he says, "Do remember, the mayor is expecting you, so make sure that you talk to him first."
Right.
Sir Galleon looks back with these bloodshot, munchy, high people eyes, and he just goes, "Sounds pretty good, man."
Sounds like he's high.
All
He's not even
right.
here.
What? What happened?
Jeeves was talking to you, and he and you were too high to know what he was talking about.
Oh, sorry. Move some laundry. What?
Basically, Jeeves was just like, "The mayor's expecting you. Make sure that you meet with him."
Oh shit, where's he at?
Town? Maybe in village town? I don't know.
Oh. Hey
I take
guys,
my bath
you think we should go into town? Maybe split up real quick, take a brief intermission before you hit up the fucking mayor? Or are we late?
You are at this point. You are supposed to be in the mayor's office. Basically all the time spent busting open the locks. It's now 12 o'clock noon. It's no longer the morning time. So
These fucking guys.
Bad,
Oh
so
my
much
God.
a lot. Spent this entire time eating instead of helping, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick bath and get ready. So
Nobody asked. Nobody asked. They're like, hey, Sir Galleon, you got skills. Maybe you could help me open this lock. Nobody. It took a fucking sledgehammer to the floor. What am I supposed to do?
like a child.
I was eating breakfast like a normal human being. creature, whatever.
James looks over at Sir Galleon and he goes,
I'm just saying.
I can tell you're going to be the voice of reason around here. I like you.
I go ahead and point like a child
Jeeves.
at Rinver, and I'd be like, he's the one who blew the hole. I'm the one who fixed it. Now, can we please all take our baths and go? I've already taken mine.
Yeah, I took mine last night. I'm ready when you guys are.
I don't think I killed anybody in that fight, so I'm saying I'm clean. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
So, you guys. So basically, what happens is you leave the manor, and you start heading to the town, and essentially there's this little shanty district, and once you pass through the shanty district, there is kind of the main town square where the mayor is. So, give me 1 second. All right, so as you're walking through the shanty district, you look around town, and it's kind of a sad sight. Like, essentially, you're looking around, and there's no grass growing on the ground. It's just like mud. All the buildings look really rickety and just in a state of disrepair. The only building that looks halfway decent is the tavern. And you can tell from looking at this building that it's pretty much the only business in town that still gets regular use, because the residents of this town basically go there just to drink their problems away.
Sweet. I would like to, before we hit up the tavern, I'm gonna just stroll on over here and hit up the fortune teller.
You walk through the front door of the fortune teller, and you see a tiefling woman there. She's a little bit older, and you can tell she was very beautiful at one point. Now she's kind of reaching the end of her middle age, and she looks over at you and she says, "I've been expecting you."
What's up, baby? How you doing? I've been expecting you too. I seen you in my dreams.
She comes over to you, and she
Oh boy.
she puts a hand on your shoulder. Hold on, I'm gonna move you guys around. Give me a second. Okay. So she puts a hand on your shoulder, and she closes her eyes for a second, and she says to you, "Oh, you definitely weren't dreaming of me last night. Interesting."
Oh. What about it? What else can you tell me?
And she kind of snaps into business lady demeanor in an instant, and she goes, "Well, my prices are 1 gold, and I will answer whatever question you might be inquiring about. And for 2,000 gold, you can open the box of fate."
At this point, I roll sense motive, and I would like to roll knowledge arcana to know if she's actually using a type of magic to read anything on Ryan.
Okay,
Like
roll whichever one. Roll your sense motive first.
Thank you.
And what were you trying to sense? Whether she's using magic on Ryan?
Yeah,
She's
real
using
magic.
sense motive to see if she's completely like. First of all, the 2,000 gold. Is there actually anything like worth with that kind of deal? Like 2,000 gold. Am I actually gonna want to save up for this?
Okay. Well, for the first roll, which was the sense motive, you can sense that she's using divination magic.
Okay.
Ooh.
Motive is to know, is she lying about the second? Like, is it worth 2,000 gold type thing, or does she know that it's BS? The sense arcana is, hold on.
Give me 1 second. I gotta plug my laptop in. Give me 1 second.
To see if she's actually using magic that can, or anything like that.
That's a really good pick.
I'm here so you don't lose money, Ryan.
Thanks, man. Because I was just gonna start throwing gold at this, man.
I've been in many campaigns.
Sweet.
Okay, sorry, my laptop was about to die. What were you saying?
So the 17 was to know, is she lying about the, like, is as two not lying, is to know, is 2,000 gold actually worth looking in that box? The 27 is to know if she actually has the magical ability, and I rolled a 27 to know if she has the magical ability to actually look into Ryan's actual future fate, anything like that.
Oh wait, so the 17 was to know if what? If she I thought you said you wanted to sense motive if she actually was using magic.
If she's ripping Ryan off about the $2,000 box.
You have no idea.
27 is to know if she can figure out can she actually figure out his actual fortune with the ability of her magic, like the magic that she's using.
You've seen, you've heard in your travels, you've heard of divination magic before. You were never really interested in it, in pursuing it as a young sorceress, so you've definitely heard of it before. You know enough about it to recognize that she is using some form of divination magic to get insight into who he is as a person. But as far as you can tell, she seems legit, that she actually knows what she's doing. But other than that, you know, you're... As far as you know, you're not suspicious that she's not, that it's a scam or something.
Quick timeout. I'm schooled in the school of divination. Like, I have that as a school. In that school.
As your preferred school?
Preferred. I'm a sorcerer. I can pick any school I want to.
Yeah, but don't you have to specialize in one?
No.
Alright, well, you know it's divination magic. There you go.
Excellent. Well, I would give her I'll give her 2 gold pieces, and I'm saying I want the good news and the bad news. All right, about my future, right? As far as being on the island is concerned, about our journey here, you know what good things are in my future, and that's for the first gold piece. And the second gold piece is what potential bad things are in the future.
She looks into your eyes, and she puts her hands on the side of your face, and she's looking straight into your eyes, and you see her eyes just go completely white, and
Cool.
she closes her eyes and just kind of like, basically, it's very creepy. It's a very creepy sight of what she's doing. And you hear her go.
It's sexy.
You hear her go. Interesting. Well, before we can understand the future, we have to look into the past. I can tell that you've recently had some good luck and have inherited a substantial wealth. Ah, I see. Interesting. Let's move forward a little bit. and you can feel like a vibration of energy coming from her hands.
Cool.
And she goes, I've never seen this before. It would appear that your future is uncertain. Hold on, give me a second.
That's kind of good.
So,
Right.
Hold on. At this moment, Faye Whisperwind says, "Hold on."
she does not acknowledge your presence. She's in a trance right now. So whatever you're saying right now, she can't even hear it. So she says, "I've never seen this before," and then she goes, "Let me try to dive a little deeper." And as she starts diving deeper and deeper, you can feel the vibration of energy from her hands is getting even stronger. And finally, she breaks her trance and is like almost shoved back by some kind of energy, and she gets shoved back like 5 feet, and she goes, "Whoa."
Sweet. So I'm gonna give you an extra gold piece. All right. Here, let me deduct it from my hair thingy around here.
She actually hands back the gold, and she goes, "I'm sorry. It would seem that there's nothing I can tell you about your immediate fate. I'm sorry I couldn't be of service."
Okay, what are you doing after work? Are you you drinking? What's up with that shit? Maybe
She
you want to go out sometime, or
she looks back over at you, and she takes a gold piece from the hand of the gold that she just gave back to you, and she goes, "I can tell you your fortune. I can tell you that you're never getting any." And then she goes back behind her desk.
At this point,
okay, I go over to this bookcase here, and I fucking just take my arm and I knock every fucking book off the shelf. Just in a big sweeping motion, and I go, "Oh, fuck you, you old hag! I didn't even want to get my dick wet. I just wanted to know what the fuck you were doing later. Shit." And I storm out, and I wait for the boys outside.
Oh my god.
I'm now in front of the tavern. I am not there when that happened. Okay. I just started.
Rinver is just standing there watching this whole thing happen, and he just kind of like has this look on his face. He's like, gotta go, and he walks out the front door.
Okay. At this point, do I see what's his name, Sir Galleon, like walking up next to me?
I don't see. Oh yeah, sorry, you're blending in with the cobblestone road. Yeah, you can see Sir Galleon and Rinver.
This is bullshit, man. It always works when Whisperwind does this. I'm never gonna get any. Not even from an old fucking beat out bitch. It's not fair.
Let me explain to you what she just did. So, in practices, this is a very broken, rundown town. There's no level 20 mages here. Let me tell you something about this. Is in the divination school, use service thoughts. Then she used Mage Hand to slightly ajar your head, and then she's a tiefling. Her eyes can go white on command. Just tell you something. Let's not waste our time with people who obviously are like just panhandlers. Okay, just trust a mage.
As I leave the fortune teller, I yell at her, "Sorry!"
Solid.
Just leave.
Okay. All right. So I would like to walk into the tavern, and I know that I haven't looked around, but
I'd like a drink.
To know what's going on with this NPC right here. I would love nothing more to know what's going on with this chick.
Alright, give me 1 second.
Throwing her hands in the air like she just don't give a care. Yeah.
So, All I was asking though, Sean, just previously, was what spell is she using by using Knowledge Arcana? Sorry if I wasn't helpful with that, but that's what I was trying to figure out.
The feeling that you got was not that she was using a specific spell, but that this was an innate ability of hers. That this was like a gift that she was born with, not necessarily an actual spell. But because of the nature of the gift, you could tell that it was some sort of divination magic.
Okay.
So you walk into this tavern, and it is an interesting place. I mean, right now it's currently midday, so there's not really a whole lot of action going on, but you see just a lot of really interesting characters. The first thing you notice...
I'm never getting any action.
The first thing you notice right off the bat is this bar maiden. And she is an extremely busty orc who is just ripped, muscly, an Amazonian status. I mean, she's probably at least 6'5".
That's my type, dog.
And
that is my type. You can back off, Ryan.
and she's just, kind of cleaning up the area and, tending to the area. Behind the counter, you see another really interesting character. The barkeep is you've never seen anybody that looks like him before. He's smaller than a dwarf, but he's bigger than a halfling. And he looks a lot more like a halfling, except that he is the buffest halfling you have ever seen in your entire life. He's just like, just completely jacked. and you can just see him just like, he's extremely happy, he's just pounding beers away. And then over in the corner, you see this like sad, depressed man just kind of like sitting on the ground, upset about his life, and yeah.
I would like to immediately go to this orc server, and I would say, "Do you need any help? I would more than happily love to give you an assistance."
No, thank you. I'm quite fine. Can I help you?
Yeah, you could let me know what
tusk
you're doing
yourself
today, and I would like to roll a seduction. I don't care if she doesn't swing this way. I'm gonna make her swing this way.
No.
In that moment, she looks over at you and she goes,
"Don't you dare touch her."
She goes, "I'm a taken orc, thank you." And she looks over at the barkeep.
Oh, lucky son of a bitch.
At the what?
Barkeep.
At the what?
She looks over at the barkeep.
Okay, at this moment, I say, I know that you might be taken. Doesn't mean you can't explore it. And I go ahead and roll persuasion. I'm gonna be insistent with this. Hold on. Okay. Boom! 29.
God damn. It's no fair.
All right,
Mind
so
exploring.
she looks over at you, and she says, I'm trying to think. So she looks over at you and she goes, I can't say that I would ever be able to be with you on my own, but if I talk to my husband, maybe I could arrange something for all three of us.
I am perfectly fine with that, so long as I get to have a night with you.
So she comes over to the barkeep. And she's kind of leans down and she's like, Murrin, I have a question for you. And she starts whispering some things in his ears. And he goes, uh-huh. What? No, I would never. No, thank you. I'm not interested in you getting involved in some local hussy.
This moment,
And
I
she-
am now put one arm on the table, and I make a kissy winky face at him, and I say, "It's a good thing I'm not I'm new money in this town."
He-
What do
he-
you think?
At this moment, he comes over to you, and he goes, "I don't care how much money you have. I'm the richest man in this town. My business is doing fine, thank you very much. That's
Oh,
my
yeah?
woman over there, and nobody touches her but me."
A game of cards and see just how much money you're willing to bet.
I'm not interested in playing cards with you. I'm not a gambling man. If I was a gambling man, I would have opened a fortune teller shop like that woman over there.
Oh God.
Oh, you should hear the tale of that Sir Galleon over here just did. But at that moment, I look
Dude,
at Orc
you
and I
would
say,
never believe this shit, bro. I fucking went into the fucking fortune teller, man. She was all like, "Ooh, I can sense your future," and I gave her like 3 gold pieces, and she didn't tell me shit. And then she gave her gold back, and then I was like, "What are you doing later?" She was like, "Fuck you! I don't fuck anybody. I fuck myself." And then she took a gold piece from me, so I lost more than I had when I went in there, man. It was fucking stupid.
He looks over at you.
I need a beer, dog.
He looks over at you, and he and he goes, "What did you say your name was, sir?"
Galleon. Sir Galleon.
I could tell.
Get the
I'm gonna
sir
like
right.
you. And he's like, "This one's on the house," and he slides a beer over to you. He looks over at his wife, Shamar, and he goes, "Shamar, get back to work. I'm very disappointed in you." And she looks over at him and she goes, "I'm sorry, Murren," and she goes back.
moment, I say an Orcish only, like just kind of whisper as she's walking by me. I just say, "If you want to be with someone of a less salty dog, I'll be back here at nightfall, and I'll be waiting outside out back."
She hears you, but she doesn't acknowledge it, and she just kind of walks back to her duties.
I just want to say, I'm gonna be here every day,
But
Sean. I just want you to know.
she does smile as she's walking away.
Alright.
Okay, I would like to throw down 10 gold right now to this fucking bartender here, guy. I'm just gonna say, here's 10 gold for the night. Line them up, dude. At least 10 beers. Fucking one after the other.
Oh, 10
I'm a
gold.
pound.
I mean, in this town, I can tell you, my prices are lower than anybody on this island. And for 10 gold, I will pop a keg open for you.
Thank God. Let's
At
do
this
it.
moment, I would like to go ahead, also walk over to this man over here.
Is that a man or?
I will let them do their turns and stuff before I get in dialogue with this guy.
Okay.
I was about to do the same thing, Matt. So. Well, I was
Me
waiting
too,
for you.
bruh.
I don't know.
Except I don't need him for anything. I just want to yell at him.
Alright. Alright. So Murren, the extremely ripped half-dwarf, halfling barkeep, he pulls out the biggest mug that I mean, it's the biggest mug you've ever seen, and in his arms, it looks like a laundry bucket. It's like a laundry basket. It's this huge mug. It requires 2 hands to fucking, just to lift it to your mouth. And he pulls out 3 of these, and he lines them up on the counter, and he pops open a fresh cask, and he fills it up, each one of these cups, like halfway. And he goes, "Sorry, I don't have any sippy straws, so if you want more, you're just gonna have to ask, and I'll top you off."
Thanks, bro. You're like the coolest fucking dude. I'm not sure what are you, by the way? What can I ask? What the fuck are you?
I'm a halfling, half dwarf.
Well, you're the coolest half dwarf, half halfling I've ever met in my life.
He looks over at you, and he just really likes you. He's just like, I like you, Sir Gallion. I hope that we can be best friends. And he goes.
I hope I can remember that we're friends when I'm done drinking tonight.
He looks over at you and he's like, I'm not gonna forget you. Trust me, you're my favorite person in this town right now.
Okay. As he was talking, I would ask Murren, how long have you been like working here, the tavern?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would like to shove a beer into his chest while he's asking, and be like, "Bro, just asking questions, man. But just chill out, you know. Take it easy.
Murren looks over.
Have a drink."
Murren looks over at Ahmed or at Rinver, and he's like, "Wow, man, that's a good question. I came here probably 30 years ago when this, before Ducat was even an official town. I came here with my wife Shamar to start a new life. We're kind of an odd couple on the mainland, and I got tired of kicking people's asses for offending my wife. So I came here to a more accepting place, and as good fortune would have it, I've done very well for myself. Even with the recent troubles of this town, it's only ever helped me. I might be the luckiest man in the world."
What kind of troubles?
Oh, man. Ask around. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because, like I said, this has been good for me. But as far as the troubles of the town, I mean, we get nightly raids from the goblins. There's been a severe iron shortage on the island since we lost contact with the mines. Being cut off from the other side of the island, the main source of economic trade, has really strangled this town. Honestly, I mean, the lumber trade and the fur trade are the two largest trades in this town. And the lumberers haven't been able to cut lumber because of the dangerous beast in the forest, and the hunters haven't been able to hunt because of the goblin raids. So, if you wanted to know more about that, you can talk to Old Man River over there.
Okay. I also whisper Murren. What do you have anything weird when during sleep? Like, do you dream something? Do you have any unusual since you've been here?
I sleep like a baby every night, and I feel like a baby in those sweet muscly arms with those big orc tits pressed in my face every night.
Nice.
I am the happiest man on this island, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Except for maybe this guy over here, right? And he winks at Sir Gallion.
Yeah. I just want to say, no offense, dude, but orcs eat some weird ass shit, bro. It's like they got no sense of smell.
If you've seen my dick, you would think that that's a good thing.
It's cool. I take your word for it.
The fact that she can't smell and has no gag reflex is my favorite thing about her, next to that sweet ass.
I don't want to get to commenting about that sweet ass, but I'm feeling almost ready to tune this fucking dude up right now.
And you walk away from the table, and he's just kind of like looking at you, confused, but he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and he's like, "More for me." And so as you approach this old man on the floor, he's just kind of in a drunken stupor, and he looks up at you and he's just like, "Hello?"
I would like to use intimidate.
Intimidate?
Yeah, I would like to use intimidate.
Okay.
And fuck, dude. Okay, I guess I just roll a d20. All right, let's see.
What? Hold on.
Intimidate for what?
Like trying to whip your dick out and show them that it's bigger. What are you trying to roll intimidation?
Yeah. It's because I just want to yell at him, dude. Hey. You fucking piece of shit. What do you have to be sad about? You fucking sitting over here in the corner, fucking acting all depressed and drunk and shit. Dude, I just got fucking turned down by some old bitch who's never gonna get dick for the rest of her life. I just fucking got my ass. I mean, I started getting drunk. This dude almost showed me his dick. I mean, I left the castle. Apparently, I don't even know how to read without being able to focus. My life sucks. And you fucking are over here drunk and fucking crying in the corner. Fuck you. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna go back to the bar.
In this moment, you literally you just see this guy just piss himself. Like you can't quite tell if it's because he was scared or if it's just because he was too drunk. But in this moment, he definitely pissed himself, and he looks over at Whisperwind and he goes, "Don't hurt me."
I look down at him. I say, "No one's gonna hurt you," and I like brush the air or the hair out of his like, face, and I say, I whisper, what race are you?
Sir Gallion?
Sir Gallion, yeah, Sir Gallion.
Wood Elf. Wood
I
Elf
say an
people. They cannibalize, dude.
I say in Elvish. I say, "Let's play good cop, bad cop," and then I look back at him and I say, "Oh, don't worry, no one's gonna hurt you. Tell me your name."
My name is Galdry, and the reason why I'm depressed is because I've been a hunter my entire life. I mean, even when things were bad with the goblin raids, I kept going out and I kept hunting to provide for my family. And the forests continued to become more and more dangerous, and I came across a beast in those forests, and I've never gone back since.
Has this ever happened? Like, has this trouble been going on for a while? With the goblins and the forest monsters?
The fog came in about 2 years ago, and almost immediately the goblins came with them. Although the beasts in the forest and on this island, they just seemed to grow stronger by the day. When the fog first came in, it seemed like goblins were the only problem that we had to deal with on this island, but as the weeks went by, it became apparent that this is a cursed place.
I say to him, "Would buying you another beer make you feel a little bit better? I just want to make your day just a little bit better."
If you buy me a beer, I'll tell you my story.
Go to the barkeeper and I say, "Hello again."
What can I do for you?
Please buy one of your strongest ales.
Well, I'm about 2 seconds away from giving you my strongest mop so that you can clean up that piss that was scared out of that old man river over there.
You know what? I'll go ahead and take Billy do, but I'll go ahead and take the consequences whatever this happens. If he actually did he hold on, out of character, did he actually piss himself?
No, he did actually piss himself. Ryan intimidated. He literally thought that his life was going to end in that moment, and he pissed himself on the floor.
I say yes. Please do hand me the mop, and I'll go clean it. I would like one of your strongest ales, please.
So he goes under the counter, and he pulls out this very small. I mean, even in his hands, it's small, and he's a small guy. And it's cool. Like this. It's this bottle, and there's just this black skull of death on the side of it, and he goes,
"Jeez,
strongest ale, huh? You're not gonna find this anywhere on the island. This is my own private stash. It would be 5 gold pieces for this one.
I give him 25 and I say thank you very much.
All right then. And he slides it across to you, and he's like, you know what? Don't worry about the mop. And he looks over at Shamar, and he goes, Shamar, grab a mop and clean up that piss.
Out of character? Yes! Now she's back in my zone again. Okay, so at this moment, I
Yeah,
go back
Shamar, clean up that piss.
and I help him, or I give it to him, and I say, it's okay, and I pat him on the back, and then I, like, give him the thing. At this moment, also, get at Shamar and say, let me help you, and then I assist her with it. Like, even if she's not, like, letting me assist her, I take, like, the nearest, like, cloth that I can find, and I start, like, wiping it up and, like, trying to help her, like, smiling at her every once in a while.
Shamar looks over at you, and she looks appreciative, and she just goes, he's really not a bad guy. You just got off on the wrong foot. And she walks away.
And as she said it again in Orcish, I say, we all got a little spice to ourselves, and I roll once again a seduction. Yes.
She is definitely receptive. Right now, she's trying to keep things cool. But in this moment, you know, the most important thing to her in her entire life is this marriage. And in this moment, she's considered throwing everything away and ruining her life here to have a one-night stand with you.
I assure you, this is not going to be a one-night stand if I get this. And yeah, okay. She's already walked away, but I will later assure her this is like, no, how about you just hop from that bed to my bed? That's all I'm saying. That's alright. Anyway, go ahead. Everybody.
So, you hand the bottle to Galdry, and he knows what this bottle is. And he looks at the bottle and he goes, oh, sweet nectar of the gods. and he pops it open, and as he's about to take a huge swig, Whisperwind yanks it out of his hand, and she goes, before you get completely sloshed, you're going to tell us what's going on. And he goes, okay. And so he starts with his story, and he goes, I had gone out with my usual hunting party. Because of the increasing goblin presence, most of the regular game had been chased from the area. So our group decided to push deeper into the Falinor forests on the west side of town to hunt the bigger and, more plentiful game in the deep forest. We didn't mind because our party was strong and we had faced many dangerous challenges in the past. Anyways, after a particularly lucrative day of hunting, we decided to end the night with a celebration. There was fresh meat. There was mead. In fact, that night I celebrated by drinking a bottle that looked just like this. In fact, it was Murren's special homebrew. I drank a little too much. Okay. I drank a lot too much. And I passed out in my tent early. When I awoke, the entire party had been eviscerated. Scattered pieces of unrecognizable flesh and viscera everywhere. I slept through the entire thing. Their cries didn't even disturb my sleep in the slightest. One drink too many saved my life, but I have never returned to that forest since. The hunting community as a whole has suffered. As many are too afraid to even go where the game is plentiful in the deep forest. Instead, they stick to the goblin-infested outskirts of town, hoping to catch a meager rabbit. And that's my story.
I would like to ask if anybody owns that forest. Does anybody own that forest?
Nobody owns the forest. The forest is just the forest.
I ask
Alright.
him. I say, so since you were a hunter, then you have skills with a bow, yes?
I haven't hunted for a while. Right now, I'm not even fit to stand on my own 2 feet.
Damn shame. And then I walk away. And I say, as I say, I say thank you for telling us your tale.
I ask him. Have you tried to find the source of the goblins, like the lair or anything?
Yes, most hunters have noticed that, at night, when the sun falls, the goblins seem to be sprouting up from the roots of a giant tree. It's just west of the hunting encampment, so, I mean, if you wanted to, I could mark it on your map. It's hard to miss.
I give him the map.
Oh yes, please.
Actually, you don't have a map, so he looks at the hand drawn map that Rinver has been scribbled. He literally scribbled it on the palm of his hand. It's all smushed and and just.
I thought I had a map. I said, like, sir, don't we have a map? Didn't we give him a map?
It's
Nope.
just black ink on his palm at this point. So
Okay.
he goes, the hunting camp that you passed on the way to the shanty town, it's just west of that. You can't miss it. There's a large tree, and at the base of the roots, there has to be a tunnel or something there, because that's where they have been seen coming out of.
So in the west of the hunting town.
I'll tell you what. If we clear him out, we get a monopoly on that shit. No hunters in this forest without permission. You need to buy hunting licenses from us. That's all I'm
He
saying.
looks over at you and he goes, "Jesus, please."
I drag Sir Gallion, and I look at him like, thank you for your information. And I grab Sir Gallion and drag him away from him.
All right, you
As
can't.
you're walking away,
You can't drag me.
as
without-
you're walking
A
away,
beer.
Galdry says to you, he goes, "It's not the goblins that are keeping the hunters out of the forest. There's a beast, the beast that killed my party.
Do you know what the beast is?
I didn't see it, but I can tell you that there was large paw prints all over that campsite, and sometimes they looked bipedal, and other times they looked like they were on all fours. I've never seen anything like it, but if you wanted people to go back to hunting, I would suggest you find the beast."
Where's the last time where's your hunting ground?
Where
Like, what's the
bears,
last time you see
Todd?
him?
Where bears?
It's about 2 days' travel deep into Falinor Forest.
2 days. All right. We'll try our best to get. We'll see what we can do for it. I look at Merwin. By the way, Merwin, do you know where the mayor is of the town?
Yes, if you just keep following this town, you'll eventually, or the cobblestone streets, you'll eventually find downtown, and it's the largest building in the town square. It's hard to miss.
If you guys want, I'm gonna meet up with you at the fucking smithy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Smithy too. That's actually where I wanted to go.
Sweet.
I walk in there and what do I see? Sean, go ahead and set this stage.
So, you walk in through the front door, and you see a very startled dwarf who, he's not seen a customer through his front doors in a long time, and he's just like, "Oh, hello, are you here to rob me?"
I say no. No, actually, I would like to know how much it would cost for you to make your finest gold ring.
Well, I would have to have gold in the first place, but
100 gold pieces down on his desk.
how many gold pieces? What did you say, Matt? How many gold pieces?
Gold pieces.
You're cutting out. I can't hear the first part of what you're saying.
100 gold pieces.
Whoa.
He literally, like, you're pretty sure he just shit himself. You can tell that he, like, just looking around this little cabin that he has, it is a very sad sight. I mean, he's even though he's supposed to be a blacksmith, like, you can see the tools, but you cannot see, like, anything that he's really been able to work on. In fact, the only thing that you can really see is that he's working on a goblin dagger, and he's trying to break it down into smaller pieces, and he's making horseshoes out of it. So he sees the 100 gold pieces, and he goes, what exactly do you want me to do? Just make a golden ring?
Beautiful gold wedding ring you can possibly produce. I want you to work day in and day out on this thing until it literally brings a tear to my eye. Do you think you can do this?
I
Tell you what,
I
if you
can
can't-
try, but I'll have to tell you I'm an ironsmith. I'm not a steelsmith. I'm not a goldsmith. So I can make you a ring, but if you're looking for craftsmanship, unfortunately, I think I'll have to turn you down.
I say to him, okay, that's fine. Thank you for your honesty. And I go ahead and start shoveling some of the gold back in my bag. And I say, but 10 pieces can stay with you if you can tell me who can do this for me.
I mean, if you're looking for craftsmanship, that'd probably be all the way on the other side of the island in East Eldrith.
I scoff and I say, okay, thank you very much. I do appreciate your time.
It's
leave
not
the-
that I don't want to. Believe me, I'm starving, literally. But you can help me. There is a large iron shortage on the island. It's ever since the mines went down on the other side of the island, there's basically been nothing for a smithy to do, almost. But I've been making do with small pieces of recovered goblin daggers and artifacts, anything that's metal. If you can bring it to me, perhaps I can keep some of the metal and fashion you something that you might be able to use in return.
Very much, and I will definitely consider it.
That would
I
be
leave him
great.
10 gold pieces. I leave him 10 gold pieces.
He looks over at you and like you just saved his life. Like he was about to take a hammer to his head and put himself out of his misery. And he looks at you and he's like, "Thank you. So, what was your name?"
For when I am the one who owns a lot of the land of this place.
He instantly goes back to shitting himself because he knows that he hasn't paid rent for this particular lot in 2 years. So he goes, well, I'm Benton.
Vinton?
So, by the way, how much since if you wouldn't mind, how much would you? Please do not lie. I'm going to the mayor directly after this. But how much? What does the shop cost you to rent out?
I am supposed to pay 1 gold piece per month.
Head and I give him 24, so 48 extra gold pieces. I say you're now paid off for the next 2 years.
Wow. Are you single?
And I say sorry, but if you want to put in a good word for me, actually, you can do me a favor.
Anything.
And I go ahead and write a note, and I take out one of my pieces of parchment that I use to write scrolls on, and I write in specifically. Hold on, I use I use write in magic, and so what I do is I write in Elven, or not sorry Elven, Orcish, Parchment. I'll be at the I'll be right behind the bar at the and speak with you. I don't wish to harm you or harass you. I just wish to speak with you. And then I write like Fey Whisperwind with like a little heart or whatever, the eye. And then I go ahead and seal it magically. And then I give it to him and I say, there's no point in reading this because it was written with magic. It will only be read by the intended user. But I would like, what was that girl's name?
Shamar.
Shimar.
I would like you to please give this to Shamar over at the bar once you have a moment.
He looks over at you, and I just realized I was pushing push to talk on my laptop and not on my PC, which is anyways. Sorry, because I was talking to you the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck? Is he not hearing me? Anyways, so he looks over. He takes the letter and he looks over at you, and a tear comes to his eye, and he goes, "I wouldn't have read it anyways, because I can't read."
And I say, I pat him. I go ahead and pat his beard. Aw, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And by the way, just so you know, the manor right, and I tell him where we live, and I say the manor right down the road. That's where we are staying. If you are ever in need of food, you're more than welcome for a free meal. And if you ever would like to see how it is done, I also craft weapons, rings, and other items.
All right. That sounds great. And he looks really excited. And so in that moment, he takes the letter and he goes, "I'll get right on this." And he comes, literally just runs out the front door of his shop into the tavern. And he
as he's like running out, I say, "Oh, by the way, what is your name?"
Nice.
He goes, "My name is Benton," and he runs into the tavern. And so he busts through the front door and he goes, "Shamar, I have a letter from Miss Fey Whisperwind. It's a secret letter. It can only be read by you. This is for you." And he hands it to Shamar. And Murrin just goes, "Hey, what is your deal, bro?" And he comes over.
I'm still underneath the table right now.
He comes over to Benton, and he goes, "Benton, you crazy old coot, what are you doing?" And Benton
What
goes,
you doing?
He goes, "I don't know. I just today has just been the best day ever. This beautiful, wonderful woman with a voluptuous body. She came through the front door and she just gave me gold for basically no reason. And I couldn't even do what she wanted me to do. She asked me to make her this intricate, ornate, I think it was like a wedding ring or something. And then she gave me this letter to give to Shamar. Oh my God, I've had such good fortune this day." And Murrin takes the letter and he rips it into pieces and then puts it in his pocket. And he looks over at Shamar and he goes, "Shamar, go to our room." And she just looks really like she's got mixed emotions, because on one hand she thinks that this whole thing was super sweet, and on the other hand she knows that she just fucked up. So anyways, what do you guys want to do now?
Solid.
That is alright. I have the charisma rolls and the stealth rolls to get me through this storm. Please, other party members, please do things so I can withhold myself. I don't care if I gotta murk a motherfucker. This is gonna be mine. So.
All I can think about is the money, bitches. I say we fucking clear out some fucking goblins. We get a monopoly on the forest, right? Fucking charge people for fucking hunting licenses, and then we fucking bring back in that lumber industry, and then we fucking charge them for security, and then we fucking restore that shit, and we go to the iron mines. We take care of that shit next.
Okay, I like your idea, Sir Galen, but first thing first, we need to meet the
Say-
mayor to see what's going on.
In this moment,
I would like-
as Sir Galleon is going on about his plan, everybody looks at him and they just see his bloodshot red eyes from smoking too much elven weed, and they look at him and they go, "That sounds like a pretty good idea, actually."
I go ahead and I actually would like to walk up to Sir Galen and say, like, I really like your style and your idea. Please tell me some of your backstory, sir. I feel like we haven't
Who
even
said
made
that?
really acquaintance.
It's like I could hear my voice talking, but I can't remember if it was me. But it sounds like a great idea. I'm just saying.
Who said that?
I mean, what?
Whisperwind is the one talking to you.
Oh. Okay, what'd you say?
I would like to ask him, sir, I feel like we haven't gotten acquainted. Please tell me some of your backstory. Us both being elves, we gotta stick up for one another, you know? And I kind of nudge his arm.
Oh, totally. Okay, just a brief backstory. I don't really have parents. I pretty much raised myself. I created myself, and I'm fucking awesome. And I spent the last 40 years in fucking not Fengorn Forest, but the other one back where the fucking wood elves come from and shit. I mean, my brothers and sisters, they cannibalize and shit. I mean, I thought that was like a little weird when I was a kid growing up, but I never really had any friends. I mostly just studied the things around me, right? I'm very like inquisitive with shit. Like I'm always asking questions, always figuring shit out. So like I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at navigating through my home forest and shit, and like through the forest in general, and like I can track, you know, I can disable traps, I can like, you know, I'm pretty good at shooting an arrow, you know, shooting a bow, I mean, you know, and I mean for the most part I'm just all solo dolo, bro. I don't really give a fuck about anything too much. I don't really have a place in this world, but you know, it's cool.
Well, your next blend's on me because I am happy to be your friend, sir.
God bless you. Thank you.
And I go ahead and give him 5 gold pieces.
Thanks, bro. I mean, I can't smoke it, but I guess.
No.
You
Buy
know.
your next blunt. Make it special. Make him lace it with something. You know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I think I know exactly what you're saying. I think we're gonna make a volcano.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pass me the second hit, bro.
I'm gonna put up a teepee and we're gonna hotbox this shit.
As you guys are having this conversation, you begin walking down the street to make it to the downtown area.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
All right,
Go ahead.
so you guys follow the street, and it starts to get a little bit nicer. You're starting to see patches of grass. The town looks a little bit more kept up, and yeah. So now you're in the town square.
I say, all right. I suggest we go ahead and hurry this up. We're already a bit late. Then we go ahead and head towards the mayor. I walk in, or I knock on the town hall door.
It's
Town hall door.
It's unlocked. You can just walk in.
So I walk in and I see whoever this is, and I say hello.
Sorry, we're late.
Hello. How can I help you?
I say, so sorry for the tardiness. I would like to go ahead and speak with the mayor. Sorry, I did not burp in the middle of that. I would like to go ahead. I would like to please meet the.
My bad.
Edit that out, Sean. I would like to please meet with the mayor. The mayor for a meeting today.
Give me 1 second.
I would like to meet the mayor.
I'm having a good time if it makes you feel any better.
Well, you did. So the assistant to the mayor, who's standing behind the desk, he looks at you and he can just smell the booze on your breath, and he's like, I'm sorry, who are you again? And he's just
I'm not drunk, so I go to him and say, we're newcomers. We just came here and we have an appointment with the mayor.
Okay, let me get your names. I heard Faye Whisperwind. Who are you two?
Rinver.
Rinver.
It is not Galleon, but Sir Galleon. To you. Thank you.
So he goes over to his desk and he opens up his book of appointments, and he's like, Rinver, Faye Whisperwind, Sir Galleon, and he's like he's kind of scrolling through the book of appointments with his finger, and he comes across the appointment and he goes, oh, sure, right this way. He was expecting you about 6 hours ago, but you know, what are appointments but just arbitrary times in who cares, right? Come this way.
I like this guy. He's
I
smart.
like him too.
Yeah.
So he comes over to the door and he knocks on it and he's like, Grundle, I have an appointment for you. Your 6 o'clock appointment is here at 12. So
12 on the dot, thank you. And I
so the mayor you can see him sitting at the desk, and he's dressed a little bit nicer than other people that you've come across. He's a lot more put together, but just looking around the office. Well, go ahead and roll perception, everybody.
all right.
All right.
Perception.
Perception.
Fucking Jeeves
All
didn't
right.
even wake us up till 10:30. He's not being
God
late.
damn it, Jeeves.
6 o'clock
so
appointment. What the fuck?
Rinver looking around. Rinver looking around. He sees that.
I don't notice anything.
Rinver.
You're drunk.
Oh my God! Shut up. No, just kidding. No, so Rinver looking around, he immediately notices that despite the fact that this guy looks really well put together, he sees that this office is completely in disarray, and he notices that like underneath where the desk, you know, where it scoots in to push a chair in, he sees all these empty alcohol bottles that are just like
Nice.
clacking around underneath the table. So the mayor comes over to you, and he goes, please close the door behind you so we can have some privacy.
And I use Mage Hand and I close the door.
And as
Sweet.
soon as the door closes, he just kind of like breaks down, and he's just like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys are here. Everything is wrong with this place. Oh God."
Oh, hold your tits, bro.
He
Just
immediately go on.
One at a time. One thing at a time. Tell us the fuck is going on, dude.
He reaches under the desk and he pulls out a bottle of some kind of clear brown liquid, and he just pours himself a drink, and he goes, "Oh, what does anybody want a drink? You probably want to sit down for this."
I sit down and I say, sure, I'll definitely take a drink.
I will totally take a drink.
so he pours
I'm a chill.
he pours 2 drinks, and he doesn't even pour one for himself. He just puts it to his lips and just drinks straight from the bottle.
Yikes.
And he goes, "Oh, where do I even start? About 2 years ago, your somebody burps in the mayor's face, and he just doesn't care.
It's me.
I
mean, it wasn't me.
He just kind of looks over at you and he's just like, I think you've had enough. that's a lot coming from me. Anyways, so he's like, about 2 years ago, the owners of this town, they went missing, and essentially nobody knew what happened to them, and so the town held a special election, and I became the mayor of this town because we needed leadership. And the first act that I had as mayor is I threw a gala event in celebration of my promotion. And within a week after I became the mayor, after the celebration, the fog rolled in and all of the troubles of this town came with it. The fog rolled in, we started suffering from nightly goblin raids, beasts in the forest, completely destroyed the fur trade and the lumber trade, and because we got cut off from the other side of the island, there's been no economic commerce that's made it to this city. And he comes over to this metal chest, and he opens it up, and it's just empty. The only thing you see inside there is empty alcohol bottles that he's like hidden away. And he's like, our coffers are completely empty. This city is broke. We have nothing to offer and except for problems. I am so sorry to give you this news.
Please tell me the exact amount of debt that we are currently in.
The exact amount of debt. That is a good question. And he kind of yells out the door, and he goes, Philip, come in here right now. I need you.
At the moment, right before he does it, I go ahead and I just like wink at him and I wipe the tears away from his face with mage hand.
Nice.
He's never seen mage hand before, so he just feels this like ghostly hand on his face. He's like, oh, what was that? Now, he's just confused now.
I whisper to him, I say like, I wiped away your tears so you don't look like you were crying in front of him.
Oh, thank you. So Philip comes in and he goes, yes, sir, how can I help you? And he goes, Philip, how deeply in debt is the city exactly? And Philip's like, let's just do some rough calculations. Let's see, 2 years we've been separated from the other side of the island, and carry the one. I would say we're probably about 48,000 gold pieces in debt.
Okay, at this moment, I would like to go ahead and I would like to roll bluff, and I would say 48,000 gold pieces. That's maybe a quarter of the last manor that I brought back from the last manor that I renovated. We'll take care of this in no time, ladies and gentlemen.
A quarter of the manor? Oh, are you donating the manor to town? That's great news!
No.
No. Donations to the last manor that I owned.
You can only donate
on
1/3 of it.
On another island.
Okay, I mean, so you're bringing the gold here? Like tomorrow?
No.
The mayor, his eyes light up, and he goes, we are completely saved! Thank you, Whisperwind! Oh, for your generous offer to this town! 48,000 gold pieces! Oh, this calls for a celebration! Hey, can you throw in 1,000 extra gold pieces for the celebration?
Hold. Gold pieces can come here, if you do exactly what I say. Secondly,
I would like to use intimidate on the mayor.
Okay. What?
I would like to basically slap him in the face. Right? I think this is how it goes. Bam!
Oh! What are you trying to do, Ryan?
I basically want him to just answer our questions and to like adhere to our demands, right? Right? We ain't giving you shit. First of all right, we're unfucking this problem, and you're gonna pay us, okay? All right, that's how this works. I get rid of your debt, then instead of you fucking owing them, you're gonna owe me. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna take care of that monster. We're gonna take care of them goblins. We're gonna take care of the whole lumber industry. Then we're gonna go take care of the iron mines, and then we're gonna fucking get rid of that fucking stupid barrier that's separating north and south of this stupid ass island, and so we can bring some fucking tourism to this motherfucker because nobody wants to come here because it's a shithole. Not because you don't have any money, but because you can't fucking do anything with it to make any kind of industry. We fucking can you make me a ring at the fucking the smith? And he goes, oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm just a simple smith. I mean, fuck him. We need like 10 smithies. And we need like 10 taverns. And we need like crops, man, that really grow, that don't fucking die in the air from the poisonous wasteland here, man. We're gonna unfuck this shit and you're gonna owe us. That's how it works.
I think that Sir Galleon is a hood elf, not a wood elf.
Oh my god, Ryan, you are
Sir Galleon the hood elf.
I created myself, man. I don't give a fuck. That's all I'm saying.
Ryan, you're my favorite. Thank you.
So essentially what everybody else sees is they see out of like everything is going diplomatically, like perfectly fine, and Sir Galleon just out of nowhere, just this
power slap, dude.
His bloodshot eyes just glaze over, and he just stands up and he grabs the mayor and he smacks him across the face, and he just starts assaulting the shit out of him, just punching him over and over, and yelling in this, like, incoherent, angry tone.
And I look over here at Philip, and I go, you fucking want some of this too? Huh? You don't want none of this. And then I go back over to the mayor, and I start yelling.
So, immediately, the mayor is just sober. And he goes, listen, calm down, bro. I don't want to get cut right now. He's like, we already work for you. You own the land that this town is on, okay? I'm simply telling you that we have problems that need to be addressed, and as soon as those problems are addressed and we can, deal with the issue of this substantial debt that we're in, it'll be fine. The coffers will overflow. But just calm down, okay? Just please don't do anything rash.
Okay, I pull him up off the ground and I dust him off and I go, I'm so sorry. I totally misinterpreted the situation here.
He winces and he goes, please don't hit me. I could have
sworn you said, fuck you, and I don't give a shit, and I just wanted to get it all straightened out before we...
I kind of like play good cop here. I'm gonna go, he's elvish. Sorry, we don't really speak your tongue that well sometimes. Like, we have to be really attuned to it. And so you have to speak a little bit louder and enunciate your words,
He just kind of looks around.
I second that notion.
Philip is just like, what did I walk in on? And he slowly exits the door.
I just slam it shut. And I'm like, hold on, Phil, we're not done here yet. And I smile really widely at him.
The mayor backed into this corner and just completely shitting himself right now. He just looks around and he's like, listen, just take out the goblins, please. Every night they raid the town, and the first step to restoring order in this town is we need to restore hope. And if you can put an end to these nightly goblin raids, then that'll really go a long way towards goodwill with the people.
How many goblins do they come at night? I mean, what's the numbers? Do you know the numbers?
I don't know. Most of us just hide inside of our we hide inside of our homes as soon as the night falls.
Or can you please provide us with a map and the location of the goblin?
I don't have a map.
That's a great idea.
But I do. I mean, I can tell you where they are. If you go straight, it's on the way back home to your manor. There's this small hunting camp that's to the west of the road, and if you follow the road from the hunting camp west, you will find the tree that they've been spotted coming out of.
Solid.
Anything else? Anything else that we need to fix?
When you guys are done here, I say we meet back up like quarter mile down the road from fucking that place, the encampment that is east of the place that we're trying to go to, and we should rendezvous there and fucking prepare for this insurrection. I say we burn them. I don't know. I'm saying.
I go ahead and tell him that I would just like you to really ponder something here, Mayor. It'd be the scariest things you've seen in the past 10 years. But you're gonna need the scariest thing you've seen in the past 10 years to kill off the remaining scary things that you've seen in the past 10 days. You're gonna need us.
I am really confused, but I'm just going to assume that it was meant to intimidate me and say that whatever you want, I agree with. Please be on your way. Alright, so are you guys ready to start heading towards the goblin base?
First I need to go back. I want to go see if I can afford any potion bottles.
Yeah, potions are expensive. I hope you can afford some fucking...
We'll see. We don't know.
You walk into
Potions?
this shop that says Everyday Potions, and you see another tiefling, which is interesting because normally tieflings are not very common to see. I mean, you do see them occasionally, but for such a small island, you've certainly noticed that there is, at least as far as you can tell in this town, there is a lot of different races of creatures that are all living here. And so anyway, so you walk through the door and he goes, "Hello, how can I help you?"
We want to see what kind of potions you have.
What are you looking for?
Some healing potions.
Sure.
Healing potion. I can sell you minor healing potion for 200 gold pieces apiece.
I'll see you guys outside.
I kind of like take lean and say, "Yep," and then I walk outside.
I'll just take one.
One minor healing potion. If you are hard up for cash, I do have something a bit less potent. It's my own home brew. It is a much weaker potion, but it is only 25 gold pieces apiece.
How much weaker are we talking about?
It would be... Well, I'll just tell you that it does about 1d4 of healing.
The 25 gold one?
Correct. I only have 4 in supply.
I'll take the minor potion, if you please. I will keep that in mind for next time.
Alright. And he hands you the potion and deduct 200 gold from your reserves.
Okay.
I'll take one.
For
25,
Come
right?
back in. Hey.
Yeah.
How many would you like?
One of the 25 gold one that may or may not actually work.
So he hands you this small vial of what looks like water. It just looks like dirty water, but he assures you that it will work. and he gives it to you, and he takes the 25 gold pieces. So add to your inventory, bootleg potion.
One bootleg pot. Alright. Let's get the fuck out of here, dude. Let's kill some shit.